Ciao, benvenuti in Italia, a Roma, al Pigneto.
Hey friends, welcome to Rome!
We're out and about exploring the Eternal City and we're super excited to take you with us.
Let's go. So obviously with a city that's this old, this diverse, and this big, you could record like 1,000 videos on literally everything. So in this one specifically, Reyka and I are gonna give you a lot of our first impressions. This is our first time to this city. We're gonna give you a little bit of history, and then lastly, we're gonna take you along with us as we go to some of the most epic sites in all of Europe. So we hope you enjoy. Sit back and relax as we take you along with us to this classic Italian capital.
First impressions of Rome is how spread out it is. When you see it on TV and movies, you pretty much see all of the landmarks all within a period of time, so it makes it seem like they're all really close together, when in fact, they're very spread out. And they have a lot of motorcycles. It's actually the motorcycle capital of Europe. What is he looking at?
So my first impression of this city is honestly just how much construction is going on. I think it really makes this feel a lot more urban over Florence, just because you have like jackhammers in the background and hammers, and there's like scaffolding on the sides of a bunch of buildings. It's cool, you know, they're building up the city, but I was expecting, I think, more old-fashioned, but it seems like there's a lot of new buildings. There's a lot of modern being like meshed in with the super ancient city here in Rome.
Allow me to introduce the first major stop of the day. We're starting out with a bang, the Trevi Fountain.
Super excited to go to the Trevi Fountain. Over 700,000 euros worth of coins are tossed into the Trevi Fountain every year. So the Trevi Fountain is a must-see while here in Rome, and fun fact, we just looked it up, and so as you can see, there's the god of Neptune on top. He's on a shell-shaped chariot that's pulled by two horses. One of them is really calm and one of them super unruly, and that's actually to represent the different moods of the ocean. And it's honestly just stunning sitting here. We have a gorgeous day. The water's really pretty, and we're just gonna soak it in.
It is packed over here. We definitely recommend getting here as early as possible because we are literally here at 10:30 and it is already filled with people. It is truly beautiful back here. I love the intricacy of the statues, and the water is so clear. It just makes me want to take a drink of it, honestly. I love it. And it's honestly so big. Like, how big it is really surprised me. You don't really realize the largeness of it until you actually get here.
All right, one thing you have to do at the Trevi Fountain is throw a coin and make a wish. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Goodbye, beautiful fountain.
Next up is the infamous Colosseum. There's so many people.
So excited. Look at that, it's right there.
While the Trevi Fountain is free, the Colosseum costs money. We paid 45 euros for 2 tickets, and it includes the ground floor.
It's just so big and so old. It makes you think about all the people that thousands of years ago were coming here to watch a gladiator fight.
They recommend you get here 15 minutes before your reservation time, and it's clear it's because of the line.
Ciao. Grazie.
So many people. This is so sweet.
So yeah, when you come here to the Colosseum, you'll see a bunch of people getting tours, and it seems really popular to book one, and then you walk around with little earbuds. One thing that we've done that was recommended to us by a couple of friends is you download the Rick Steves app on your phone. He's like a famous traveler, I think from the States. He'll give you like a really in-depth tour of a bunch of different places around Europe, including the Colosseum. So we just downloaded the Colosseum tour on here, and then we've been learning a bunch of cool facts.
The first interesting fact we learned is that the Colosseum started the building process in 72 AD, and it took 8 years to finish construction. It was then followed by a 100-day festival where they killed thousands upon thousands of people and animals. They killed so many people that they had to perfume all around the Colosseum to disguise the smell of death and blood.
Wow, okay, we are right next to something absolutely incredible.
Yeah, right behind us is these underground ruins that actually functioned as a backstage during the gladiator games.
It's insane, yeah, they would have the prisoners down there saying their final prayers before they're about to fight for their lives. You'd have all sorts of exotic animals they would bring to entertain the audience. This is all stuff that we learned in the app, which is awesome because it's free. And then, so this was all covered, and then you would have like trap doors. But the cool thing is that the audience would know before the actual like prisoner, because they can see it from above, so they would laugh or shriek. And meanwhile, this prisoner is like terrified. She has no idea what it has to fight that day.
And then the final event would be the big gladiator games.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So if your opponent fell onto the ground, you would go up to the emperor, who would be in the audience along with 50,000 people, and you would ask them, should they live or should they die? Sometimes the emperor would decide, or sometimes the emperor would let the audience decide based on like their general reaction to the bravery of the contestant.
Hey look, we found an ancient Roman. What do you think about the Colosseum?
You like it? Outside is like my favorite part, but it's also really cool to walk inside. You have a bunch of different memorabilia and different artifacts and all sorts of different models of what the Colosseum would have looked like in its heyday. But we're gonna go back outside to the second level.
Final thoughts on the Colosseum, definitely worth the ticket and worth the price because you get to see one of the biggest and most famous Roman ruins. However, my one complaint would be that we went midday and there is a ton of people, which can be distracting and you would have to wait in lines, etc. So I'm guessing that the earlier is the better. We recommend going at the 9 a.m. slot, the first one.
It is cool coming in here. The outside is majestic and beautiful, but then you get into the inside and you really see the nitty-gritty of the design. Definitely worth it. If you're coming to Rome, you kind of gotta come see the Colosseum. Good Colosseum visit.
As you're walking in or out of the Colosseum, you can also pass by the Arch of Constantine.
Yeah, so Constantine was one of the last emperors in the Roman Empire. He was most famous for popularizing Christianity. He adopted it himself after getting a vision of a cross right before a battle that he won that made him emperor. And then while he was actually in charge, while he was ruling, he built this just massive arch thing to commemorate the empire's history.
Yeah, it's super ornate. It reminds me a lot of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, and it's just a great find.
Cool, so we stopped for lunch. We got some pizza. It's cool, in Italy they have like fancy pizza, but then you can also just go to little cafes and just select how many slices you want of like a huge tray of pizza. So we got some margarita, some like potato pizza, and then a vegetable layered sandwich, kind of like a vegetable calzone. And then right next door to the pizza shop is this lovely cafe behind us. So we're at those seats and we ordered some chocolate croissants, which are absolutely delicious. And then also we got a classic Italian little coffee, a little espresso. These are literally just like a tiny shot of coffee called espresso because you get them so fast. It's like express. So let's try this. Oh, it's so strong.
All right, now on to the next destination. It was a good deal, only 14 euros for all that stuff. Definitely recommend going to the small pizza shops and cafes. Guess what? Next, the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. We ordered Colosseum tickets online and we got a great deal where with the Colosseum tickets, you get tickets to the Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum included. So all of that together was 45 euro. Let's go that way. We are at our first overlook in Rome and it is truly beautiful. The mix of modern Roman skyline with Roman ruins is so breathtaking, and it's definitely one of my favorite overlooks we've been to so far.
Yeah, so I think the Palatine Hill has just been one of the funnest things that I've done so far in Rome, personally. Like with the gorgeous view, all of the nature, all of it together just makes for a really pleasant and peaceful experience. There's also not as many people here. So where we are right now is the Palatine Hill, and this place actually played an integral role in the foundation of Rome, or at least the mythological beginnings of it. As the story goes, there were two twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf. They had a disagreement over which hill they wanted to build the city on. Remus wanted to build it on the Aventine Hill, which is one of the 7 hills Rome is famous to have, whereas Romulus wanted to build it where we are now, the Palatine Hill. They had a disagreement. Romulus killed Remus and then built it here, naming it after himself, Rome, from Romulus.
This way. The Roman Forum was the center of day-to-day life in Rome. It had trials and speeches going on, and it was also the center of commercial affairs.
So yeah, the Roman forums are basically just a series of pathways that you walk through staring at ancient ruins. A lot of them temples or old government buildings. I think it's really cool. Like, if you're a ruin fan, you will be satisfied. Like, you will get more than enough of your fill of ruins. I personally preferred the Palatine Hill just because it was really nice to see the city from above for once. And I also like the nature up there. But if you're a ruins person, the forums, that's the place to be, I think. Let's eat.
First up is spritz. If you watched our Florence vlog, you know that we're really starting to like this drink. It's very common in Italy. It's a mix of Prosecco and different types of liquor. In this case, Aperol. So good. Strong.
That is strong. Ooh.
We just got our pasta and I am so excited. This is risotto di scampi, which I think is like shrimp scampi, but with like risotto pasta, I think. Look at these shrimp, they have eyes. It's gonna be so good. Look at this beautiful sauce. Oh. Really good. Such a good creamy texture with a little bit of tomato in there. So good. Honestly, this is the first time that I think the portion size is enough for me.
And for dinner tonight, I got a ravioli with spinach and ricotta cheese inside, and then I got some white sauce on top. I'm assuming it's gonna taste like the Alfredo that I've grown up with, but I am super excited. Oh, it just smells like cheese, and I love cheese. Let's dig in. Oh. Best pasta I've had in Italy. Best pasta. It's so rich. The spinach is so well cooked. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Started the day off with an amazing haircut. Feeling good. Let's do this. Rome day 2.
To get around the city, you basically have 3 public transit options: tram, bus, or metro system. The tickets cost €1.50 and you can use them for up to 100 minutes and go anywhere you want and use it as much as you want for those 100 minutes.
That being said, as with a lot of Europe, our preferred option of transportation is just simply walking. You get to get some good exercise, see some of the real streets that people live on in the places you're at, and Rome is gorgeous. So if you're here, definitely recommend just walking around.
We are at the Spanish Steps, which were built in the 18th century to connect the Spanish embassy with the Trinity dei Monti Church.
So yeah, the steps are kind of cool. Honestly, they're just really full of tourists. They're like one of the top things to do in Rome, so that's why we came. But honestly, I think the Trevi Fountain kind of blows this out of the water in terms of beauty. And we made it to our next stop of the day, the Roman Pantheon. This thing was built like a whopping 2,000 years ago. I did not know that when we were coming to the Pantheon, but it is that old. And it's actually one of the best preserved Roman buildings. Like, it still has the intricate carvings in the top of the columns, which is just really incredible after 2,000 years. This is like, we were thinking, oh, we're just gonna go to the Pantheon because you kind of have to, it's part of Rome, I don't know, like you want to see everything when you're here. But it's been a pleasant surprise. It's underhyped, I think, for how cool it is.
As we're walking out of the Pantheon, we can't help but compare it to the Pantheon replica in Paris. We definitely think the original is better than the replica.
Definitely way older, maybe not way bigger, but huge still. Anyway, we're off to get some
gelato!
When in Rome.
It wouldn't be a trip to Rome without gelato, a classic Italian dessert, similar to ice cream. It's so much more creamier, more like soft serve ice cream, I would say. Big fan. I got chocolate, and I forget what this one's called, but it's basically chocolate and vanilla cream, he said.
Yeah, so total this was just €7, which is a lot less than we paid for gelato in Florence. We paid €10 for something that was smaller than this, I'm pretty sure. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're not in a touristy area right now. So if you're looking to get some budget gelato, not touristy areas are the way to go. I got pistachio and chocolate, super good. I got the cone, because cone is superior.
And with that, this is where we're gonna end the video. Thanks for coming with us as we toured Rome.
Yeah, and if you want to come with us as we see more of Italy, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified every time we release a new video about a new place.
Bye, friends.
Peace out. It's just like a sprawling... What were you doing?
Who's marching?
I got gelato on the ear. Is it there? Can you see it? You got anything to say to the camera, little guy?
As we're walking down the streets of Rome, I can't help but feel like Lizzie McGuire in the Lizzie McGuire movies. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of.